Okay, the conversation can resume now.
So for
just real quick. I don't see it when I'm looking through the chat box. I don't see a lot of people doing citations for the text, and the speakers have been citing text in pretty much every other comment.
Yeah.
So let's make sure that we're doing that.
Yeah, and maybe just as a reminder of how to do that, right? So, let's say Darcy says, on Eurocentric standards of beauty, page 1, paragraph 3. You look over here, we see ESB, right? Eurocentric standards of beauty, comma, right? You want the page number, page 1, paragraph 3, right? That's what you have to do, all right? Page 1, paragraph 3, yeah, and Mr. B put it in the today's meet as well, okay? So when you hear that, that's a simple way for us to know that you're paying attention to the evidence being cited, okay? So, with that, let's resume.
And maybe the reason why we're doing that as well.
Why we're citing textual evidence, you guys are going to have an opportunity afterwards to go back and really look at these transcripts, right? But you're going to want to know some of these points, right? We need to know where we got that information. What is the evidence they used to back up the point, right? You're not going to write out the whole quote. That's going to be too difficult to do on today's meet and the time. So this is a way for us to all locate the evidence being used. All right. Go ahead with that. Sorry, guys.
So to answer Siobhan's question, what does beauty mean to me? Beauty is like what you think of yourself. It's like, yeah, your personality, and some people think about the physical appearance, but like it's just basically about what you think of yourself. Like if you think you're pretty, then you're pretty. If you think you're ugly, you should look at yourself again, because everybody is pretty in their own way. Because a person is normally unique. Not every person is gonna look alike because we're different, and that's good.
I'm more so, when I'm looking at person, I really don't think of beauty. I more so think of that everybody is just a brain inside of a body that was picked to them just by chance. So everybody's just this pink little ball that's controlling a body. Stuff in
Cute. What are you doing?
because like you really can't control who you are, like what you look like and what you are meant to look like by genetics, but you can control what you learn and how, like, you can control like what you're gonna do in life and stuff. So I more so think of everybody as a brain, and not so much as you're pretty or whatever.
I want to answer what Reagan said. Like, when I see somebody, the first thought that comes to my head isn't like, oh, she's pretty, or oh, he's ugly. Like, no, like that thought really doesn't come to my head when I'm talking to somebody or meeting somebody. So.
Well, but if I do answer your question, I would say I think beautiful is more so just trying or like working harder. I'm not more so into like look beautiful. It's more so if you act beautiful. Like if you like go out of your way to like, if you were to like go out of your way to like compliment somebody, or you want to try your hardest to work out a task, even if you're like falling way behind on it, as long as you're working hard, it's like a beautiful act.
Good to me is actually like being unique within now, because I wouldn't want to look or be like somebody like so hard to me. So that's my opinion of how
This is kind of leading into question 2, so what, make you jump into question 2? How the texts changed your ideas?
So yeah, you guys seem to be talking a lot about your personal definitions, sort of going through that onto that route. So yeah, I want to transition to question 2, but at this point I also want to give the opportunity for the flies to ask any outstanding questions that they have about what they've heard so far with question 1. Noelia.
Can we answer the questions as well?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. That sounds good. Okay, go ahead. You guys can have them.
So, what beauty means to me is like not what you look like, but like sort of how you act, like the way you treat others and stuff like that.
Does the reading change or write your
It didn't
Yeah.
really.
To repeat Paige's question, because I don't know if everyone heard it, she asked, were there specific things in the readings that helped you come to that definition of beauty? Was her question for Gio, which was a very good question, yes.
It hasn't really changed how I think of beauty. It's like changed it just like kind of showed me how others might see themselves and like why they see themselves in a certain way. Like how in Barbie doll it shows like how just one person was able to change her whole mindset with one comment.
I think that like the articles, they didn't really change my personal like perspective on beauty.
So comment, it's changed or added to. So if there was something that you read that reinforced what you already believed, you could cite that as well.
But I think that it's more like it more so made me understand what other people's perspectives of beauty is, and like what they are saying when they say, oh, somebody's beautiful or this person's prettier than the other person or something. It more so helped me understand what other people think and like why other people want to hang out with one person more than they want to hang out with someone else just based on looks.
Alright,
Can we agree to close? So I agree with Noelia where she says beauty to me simply means just the way you are and act, no changes made to yourself. That's a really nice way to think about beauty and like in a definition. Cause like that's what creates that person, like Reagan said. People just don't really look at other people don't really look at each other and say, oh no, she's beautiful just by the appearance. It's just like the way that person acts and how that person is that's what really creates that person, and it creates that person in a unique and beautiful way.
alright, at this time, do any of the flies who have been silent want to pose a question, based on what they've seen on the thread, or a personal question to add on to this conversation? I'll go Trayvon, and then Stephanie will be next. Go ahead, Trayvon.
Does beauty affect beauty?
Can you expand on that a little bit?
Like, I don't know.
Does beauty affect them in what way?
In any type of,
The way you look.
yeah,
Does the way you look affect them personally, you mean?
yeah, like, do they, I don't know.
Alright, I'm gonna jump to Stephanie, because I think that's kind of been a general question that we've been answering throughout, okay? You have a question?
Mr. B has asked a question that caught my attention a while ago. So I wanted to ask you guys how or is
there such thing as what?
Like, to add to beauty?
That's a really good point. It's a really good question, right? I think I was paraphrasing somebody, one of the speakers, I think it was actually Gio, who said that beauty is an action, it's how you act. And so then my question was, so what is a beautiful action? And we were learning about this idea of objective versus subjective. And so a beautiful action to Gio may not necessarily mean a beautiful action to me. So Gio, what's a beautiful action? You brought it up.
Someone else brought it up. What was you, Megan? So to me, acting beautiful is like, stop laughing. To me, kind of acting beautiful is like, kind of, not necessarily, going out of your way, but like, kind of putting people, like others, before you, and, like, stuff like that.
So selfless acts.
Yeah.
Okay.
A beauty act to me is anything you do that can have a positive outcome out of it. So like doing that can make someone so happy, doing things that change something for the better.
Okay.
I think a beautiful act to me is pretty much what Gio said, just doing a selfless act or trying your hardest to do something or to get at a certain goal. What's a beautiful act to you, Kevin?
What's a beautiful act to you?
I mean, it sounds silly, right? It sounds silly, and I'm gonna let the fucker know. It sounds silly, but I think it's really important because what we're talking about, if I can paraphrase what Gio and Reagan are saying, is a beautiful act is a selfless act, it's a kind act. And so we're talking about the making of a better world here. You want the world to be a better place, well, it starts with actions, right? And so Gio's definition, Reagan's definition of beauty is, how can we be more beautiful people? Well, let's be nicer to one another. Let's start there. And that was represented in the text as well. We'll get to you right now, after Kevin. That was represented in the text as well, when they were saying that you need to act a certain way in the beguiling truth about beauty. I'm citing a text. Beguiling truth about beauty. Page. I'm trying to find it now.
Is it in the second to last page?
We're talking about the actions.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'm on page 5, paragraph 1, 2, 3.
So page 5, paragraphs 1, 2, and 3.
Page 5, paragraph 3, and I'm just going to read it. It says, if you express interest in others, or say, if you express interest in what others say, or smile lightly and touch their arm, they will likely feel flattered and comfortable around you and even more attracted to you. Right? So this is, I'm just echoing with textual evidence what Gio and Reagan are saying, is that this is an action. You smile when somebody's talking, right? If you express interest in what they're saying instead of ignoring them, right? Or shouting over them, that this is a beautiful action, and it actually